Okay, so first of all, good news. I thought I was recording the video and I've just discovered that I haven't recorded anything. So I will go quickly to show you what I've done because this is the result. Look, just go to Drive and I want to show you how I did this. Okay, and the only complex part is just a spring. So I will show you how to do it. Let's start by the fact that I have quickly made two pieces. One is this, and let me tell you, I don't need to explain how to make a square with another extrusion or a square with a hole. I mean, those are too basic. So I just go to the assembly. So I go to new assembly, and I place this part that is first part of the piston. Then I click place. I place my second part, press escape. It's fine. Now I need to create relationships in between. So I will go to constraint and I will say that this axis must match this axis, but on the other side. So instead of this, I click aligned and I click OK. Then I can see that this thing can slide, but it can also rotate. So I go to constraint and I will constrain the top to the top, but I will make mate, apply, so that this part won't rotate, but it will just slide. Then, because I don't want all of these pieces to move here and there, I will make at least one piece grounded so that this won't move and this will slide in and out. Now I am basically ready to make my spring, but I want to add one last constraint. That is this. Basically, when I push this inside, the only thing that changes is the distance between this plane and this plane here. So I will add a constraint in between this and that I will make mate, okay? But I will give a certain offset. Look. Now it looks like one piece only, but if you go to view, visual style, shaded with edges, you can see they are just basically touching each other. But if to this last part, constraint, I edit and I change the offset, let's say 5, it has a distance. If I change it to 20, it has more distance. If it is 30, it has more distance. So this number will be basically the one that will drive the height of the spring that we are going to create immediately. Look. So I go to create a new part and I will call it working spring. I should add, hopefully, working spring. Click OK. Click somewhere. Nice. Now, let's grab some informations from these objects. I have to create a point, at least here, in the middle, somewhere here. That is where I want the vertical plane to start. So I will also then put this axis, and basically my plane must pass through the axis and through this plane. So I click new plane, I click the X and point, this one. No, not normal, sorry, delete just this. So plane, plane, this here. So that is 90 degrees. And if you see, it goes perfectly from there. So now I make a sketch on this plane, and this is where I have to draw my circle that is here. Let's say I will give a diameter that I remember, and you will see why in a second. Let's say I will call it 2. Then I want to touch at least lower part, so I project this edge, and then I constrain with a tangent that the circle must touch this line. So I click constrain, tangent, first the line, then the circle. I could also stick it to here, but it's just more beautiful to watch it like that. Then I will also project this edge, okay? And the dimension that must be the height of the coil, and basically was this the mistake that I was doing in class, must stay inside the same sketch where I put the circle. It says there is a driven dimension. I accept it. That's fine. But now, just look. Sorry. This dimension is called D2. This dimension is called D1, and I will easily forget. So look, I will just call the diameter, I will call it unbelievable diameter. The height of the spring, I will call it spring height, just with the H. Then I will add a parameter, just to be a little bit nerd. That is how many turns I want my coil to be. So I will call it turns. Units is unitless because it's just a number. And let's say I want, I don't know, 6 turns. And I click done. Now see this. I click finish. I can make the coil that is going to be my spring. Where? This is my profile. I pick the axis that is the center of my cylinder. Then I go to coil size, and to make my coil 100% parametric, I will make this. The revolution basically means how many turns I want to give to my spring. I will set the turns. No, I had not to click enter because now this is too high. And in the coil size, the pitch, that basically is the single height of each rotation, yes, must be instead this divide turns. And if you want to be unbelievably picky, because now this is going a little bit inside my top part, you can put this into parentheses. Then use minus the diameter divide the turns. I have turns. Okay. And now look, my spring perfectly touched the top, perfectly touched the bottom, and now see the magic. I return to my assembly. I just forgot to remove the visibility for this plane, but it shouldn't change anything. So now, see this. If I go to my piston and I change this number, I cross my finger, by changing these, I should compress the spring. Let's see if it's true. So from 30, I go to 25. Boom! Wow! It works! I can go till a certain level. So if I make it too small and my coil will self-intersect, I will receive an error message. But I go here, let's say 20. I can go 20, 19, yes, 18, 17, ooh, 16, wow, 15, 14. No, I can't go more than 15, and you can see that already the spring is entirely compressed, so I will cancel the operation. This is my minimum, and 30 is just the height that I gave to this piston, because if I make it more, look, it will just go away. So I will take it 30. And just if I want to make everything look cooler, I can animate this process by going to the mate, going to drive, setting that I want to go from 30 to 15 as maximum and minimum value. But if I also want, I can just show additional parameters, click drive adaptivity so that my adaptive component will follow the animation, and I can also go with the animation in loop by checking start and start, and I can set how many loops I want, let's say 20, so it will go up and down 20 times. I click play. Ready for this? 3, 2, 1, go! Fantastic, isn't it? I know, finally it works. And believe it or not, the only mistake that I was doing during the class was that the height of the coil, I was doing it into a separate sketch, while it has to be into the same sketch. That is where I draw the circle. That's it, trust me. Okay, so this is it, just to prove you that what I wanted to explain was real. So have fun, but not too much. Bye. Oops, just moved everything. Record, stop, bye.